Welcome to the channel. This is Terminally Irrelevant. My name is Jason, and these are things from around the web that you absolutely did not need to know, and unfortunately, now you do. You're welcome. Real quick, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me. I would greatly appreciate it, and let's get into the video.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like no polishing for cotton, natural.
Starting us off here is a clip from Megyn Kelly's channel. Megan's got a video here of Serena Williams, who obviously posted this herself, where she's in a hotel and she has the misfortune of coming across a piece of decoration that is a cotton plant. And I think the implication here is that the cotton plant is racist and that the hotel is potentially racist for putting a piece of decoration that is simply a plant. And the fact that she doesn't realize that most of her clothes are probably made out of cotton or cotton of some sort is quite interesting. I think this is a bad take. Serena, you're a highly successful tennis player. You're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I would simply say stay in your lane, do what you do best, but trying to imply that there is some sort of racial aspect to this decoration in this hotel is very out of touch, and I don't think you're going to win this one. Sorry, Serena.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought. It's like the billionaire Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. It's interesting. I've been telling people to co-invest with me in deals for the last 12 months. Some people have listened to me, some haven't.
So the news is out. Last week, Ty and I bought a major American clothing brand called Dressbarn, brand with over $740 million of annual sales.
I'm taking it online, closing down 650 department stores.
Hopefully you guys remember what they did. Basically, they took on some of these companies that were going bankrupt, and it sounded good. This was March of 2020, and so they were going to raise money, go and buy these distressed businesses, build them up using their expertise in digital ads, and then eventually sell them for a massive profit. One thing I really don't like is when Tai Lopez was posting that you could invest $300,000 and they'd pay you $60,000 a year in monthly payments. For those without a calculator, that would be 20%. I really dislike this, and I remember at the time seeing this, and I started going, oh, this isn't good. My spidey senses were saying this isn't good. Only for accredited investors, return not guaranteed. I love the claims at the bottom. Invest at your own risk. I absolutely love these because they mean absolutely nothing in court. Please, all of you understand out there, when you hear someone say, this isn't financial advice, invest at your own risk, return not guaranteed, it means absolutely nothing, as Ty's about to find out. He still got served with the complaint by the SEC.
Next up, we have a video from Spencer Cornelia's channel featuring Tai Lopez, nobody's favorite scumball dirtbag grifter. Tai Lopez makes a career out of telling other people how to make financial decisions. They are completely ridiculous investment moves, things that most investors, people that are worth 2 cents, would tell you never, never, ever to do. But Tai Lopez has somehow made a career out of teaching others how to do this. Tai Lopez makes most of his money through, dun 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 dun, nobody's surprised, selling courses. Tai Lopez is actually in a little bit of trouble this time. He is facing some pretty serious legal consequences for basically doing what amounts to a Ponzi scheme. Tai is taking investors' money, millions and millions of dollars, and trying to revitalize dying brands like Dressbarn and Radio Shack and promising huge payouts from investors. However, he's pocketing millions of dollars, obviously, and is paying out early investors with new investors' money, which basically equates to a Ponzi scheme. So if you already don't like Tai Lopez, well, you're going to dislike him even more. However, this time there could be some actual legal consequences to him. And I'm just going to say, anything bad that comes his way, I am totally here for, and he totally deserves it.
That I've clowned on and insulted numerous times now. And I feel like everyone probably shares that same sentiment. I believe in every human being's soul there is a spot reserved purely for their hatred of Ticketmaster to reside. I'm sure everyone has their own experiences and horror stories here. It is just an absolute dog shit business model that is becoming worse and worse all the time. And it's run by this, bear witness, worm person. This is Michael Rapino. He is the CEO of Live Nation, Ticketmaster. He went on to say he had the gall to claim ticket prices are actually underpriced.
Yeah, I mean, I think music has been underappreciated. I always joke, sports, it's like a badge of honor to spend 70 grand for a Knicks courtside. They beat me up if we charge 800 for Beyonce, right? So it's a real, we have a lot of runway left, right? So
here we have a video from Charlie over at Penguin Zero. Charlie makes some pretty good stuff. I highly recommend his channel, but this one is another one that's going to make your blood boil. You can't believe this is actually real life. This is actually a real person saying things like this. This is the CEO of Live Nation, Ticketmaster, whatever you want to call them. He has this take here where he basically says that Ticketmaster is not charging enough money for their tickets, which is absolutely hard to believe. I don't go to concerts. I don't do the stuff, but I know how expensive these things are. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for tickets. And he basically has the take here that they are not charging enough money for their concerts, which is just hard to believe, completely out of touch. I did a little research. This guy made this past year, I believe, $34 million, somewhere in that range. In 2022, 2023, he was paid out $129 million through stock options and whatever else through the company. So yeah, somebody that makes that kind of money obviously does not live in the real world and doesn't know what the average person is going through, especially in an amazing, thriving economy like we have right now. So just a really bad take. And this guy completely out of touch. Thanks for showing us how the upper crust live.
Respect for Mr. Grillo. Finally, someone tells us what the famous superhero actors lie about. They get to look that outsized way because they take PEDs. Big respect, Frank. We all know already, but it's good to finally have someone say it. Finally, we have an actor coming clean about what Hollywood actors are using to gain all that muscle for their roles in Hollywood movies.
And how do they do that, though? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yes.
Because none of them talk about it. And they do it by, taking Anavar and Deca and all the things that now are prescribable by doctors.
This clip here is from Greg Doucette's channel. Greg is a fitness influencer. He does little mini documentaries talking about PEDs and steroids and kind of all things related to the fitness industry. The big take here is that Frank Grillo, a Hollywood actor, a guy I actually like. I've seen, several of his movies. I think he's a pretty good actor. But he's come out here and made the claim that everybody in Hollywood that is having these, kind of body transformations for roles in movies is on steroids. I don't think any of us were surprised by that take. I certainly wasn't. But Greg seems to think that that's a big deal, that he's come out and said this. Yeah, it's quite obvious when guys like, I don't know, off the top of my head, Chris Evans or Hugh Jackman. I like Hugh Jackman. I like Chris Evans. But these guys went from normal frames to shredded, ripped, jacked for their roles. And I don't think you get there by eating, just a clean diet and heavy lifting. The other side of that is if you haven't seen The Rock recently, The Rock's had some pictures come out where he looks like emaciated and like he's suffering from something. They say he came off of steroids. I know he had some sort of heart thing going on recently, and that may have caused him to back off the roids. And yeah, he looks like he's a much smaller, frailer version of himself. So I think that's what's prompted a lot of this Hollywood steroid talk. But again, I don't think anybody was surprised by this.
But what I didn't know is I didn't know that Jack was such a fan of my work, because he goes and he takes out his phone, he shows it to Wes, and he goes, listen, I really like these videos, even though they're hating on us. I think they're really well done, right? And I think he's trying to get a reaction out of Wes because he knows our history, right? So he whips out his phone, he shows it to Wes, and look at Wes's face when he sees me. And you know what he says? He goes, he's in the process of getting sued. So this asshole thinks he could sue me.
He's like a famous person everybody knows. Who's that guy that, like, I saw a YouTube video, it did like really good too. It was like the live stream we did. Oh no. He got a couple 100,000 views, and he was just saying a bunch of shit. But he was hating on me and you like crazy, but like it's interesting to watch, you know? I like, sometimes I watch videos that are bad about me, sometimes I don't, but like, people I don't know, it's like funny to see their point of view, but he's so hateful. I gotta find the video.
I have never worried about what another man's doing. And people think I do because I talk about the habits that'll level someone up. So
this guy, these videos.
I gives a fuck.
Yeah, I know, I can tell. He attracts your life. Yeah.
All right, here we go with another one from the Alpha Male universe. This video here is from John Bravo's channel, and he does a lot of the Alpha Male universe stuff, and this one here is featuring the leader of the alpha males. I would say he's probably the leader of the alpha males. I mean, it's always a tight running with guys like Ben Azuli and Ali Soba and Wes Watson, and you name any of the other ones. It's always a tight race. They're always reaching for the bottom, but Wes Watson is probably their leader. And this one here features no one's favorite IRL streamer, Jack Broccoli Haircut Doherty. This guy is a complete uber douche. And Wes and Jack and this one are just hanging out, talking all the nonsense that they always talk. And if you really dislike Wes Watson and you really dislike Jack Doherty, well, then you probably don't watch this one because they're just super douches all over again. But yeah, Wes Watson is facing some pretty serious legal trouble right now for his attack with him and his friends on the 7-foot monster, as he calls it. Go check out that video if you're curious about what that is. But yeah, Wes Watson, the alpha of alphas, is facing some pretty serious legal trouble. And John Bravo does a really good job of breaking that down.
To take control of our own country. We're allowed to say, no, you're not going to Islamicize our cities. No, you're not going to do that. This is America. Okay, I want to actually go back to Dearborn for a moment. But the more you look into it and the more research you do about what's happening in Dearborn, it is insane. I mean, it is mind-blowing. I think people don't realize, however bad you think it is, it's so much worse.
And you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
Yes, go ahead. State your name and address.
God bless you, Mayor. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
You also say that I'm an apostate, I'm going to hell based on the videos that you drop. So if I were you, I'd sit silently.
Last but not least, and probably not irrelevant, is a video from Matt Walsh's channel. Matt Walsh here is featuring a video from Dearborn, Michigan. And if you aren't aware, Dearborn is, it's basically, America's Iraq. And really heavy, very strong Muslim community. And the mayor of Dearborn here is a Muslim and a heavy proponent of Sharia law. Dearborn looks like Fallujah did when I was there in Iraq a bunch of years ago, but it's quickly turning into the Muslim hotspot in America. And this guy has nothing good to say about Americans and Christians for sure. And it's really turning into a dangerous situation. And Matt's video here is just highlighting what Sharia law, what a Muslim-controlled America and world would look like, because it is not a pretty picture. If you made it this far, I thank you. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me. And if any of this stuff makes you want to go out there and just punch a baby squirrel, remember, it's all irrelevant.